True story, just the other day, I was talking to a coaching client here at the Trip Advice coaching program. And we were chatting, and he was telling me that he watches anywhere from 1 to 2 hours of porn a day. And I'm not going to be here and sitting here shaming him or shaming you for that matter. But when he told me that, it shocked me because I guess I didn't really realize the lengths at which people will go to spend all their time watching pornography, masturbating, and using pornography as a source of spending time. Like, this is almost a hobby. I mean, I would say doing anything from 1 to 2 hours a day at this point is a hobby, or it's an addiction. So what I want to talk about on today's video is the different ways that porn can actually ruin your life. And maybe you're watching this and you only watch porn every once in a while, and maybe it's not that big of a deal. But it's interesting because when I was talking to my client who says he does that, it didn't even really feel like it registered that was a long time to be doing that. So I feel like maybe everyone has their own idea of what's a lot, what's not a lot. Like, it's all relative. I don't know, maybe someone's out there who watches 10 minutes per day, which relative to 1 to 2 hours is not that much, but maybe that person thinks it's a lot. So however much you're doing it and watching it, you got to understand the consequences of doing so. Real quick, if you're interested in doing coaching, just like my coaching client where we were talking about some of those deeper things, and you need someone to talk to about this and you want to understand how to not be doing that anymore so you can actually be meeting women in real life, and if you're interested in meeting women in real life instead of looking at women on the screen, highly encourage you to check out the Trip Advice Accelerator program, which is a coaching program that helps guys just like you meet and attract more women so you don't have to be in front of the screen doing what you know you're going to be doing. Go to coachedbytrip.com. Link is down below where you can apply and work with me and all the other guys who are getting amazing results in this program. Come to this side where we're going out, talking to women, we're getting dates from online, and actually having a really fulfilling dating life. Now, one way that porn will ruin your life is it will decrease your sensitivity to sex. So that means that it can actually cause erectile dysfunction, because if you're watching on the screen all these crazy fantasies happening at 60 frames per second, and you're seeing all this cut up to just give you the exact amount of pleasure you need from visualization, again, because you're watching media and it's not real life, it may actually decrease the sensitivity when you're with a woman in person. It may actually get to the point where you're going to need to do all these freaky, crazy things in the bedroom with the woman, or maybe be with a woman who's as attractive as a porn star to be able to get off, to be able to get turned on. And so this is one of the reasons why a lot of guys do suffer from premature ejaculation as well as erectile dysfunction. I know that sounds kind of funny, like, wait, you said that it would decrease your sensitivity. Yes, but what ends up happening is, let's say you're with a woman and you finally, get turned on, and then you guys are having sex, you could premature ejaculate because when you're masturbating, you might be so used to just finishing as fast as you can, and now this is going to transfer over to when you're with a woman. So a lot of body issues are going to happen if you're just allowing porn to be one of the things that you're watching to get turned on. So you got to be careful of that. Number 2, it makes you not talk to women. Think about this. Because we have access to porn and it's so easy, and a lot of guys do tend to get addicted to it, well, then your drive and motivation to be with a woman in real life decreases, because you end up just staying at home masturbating all day and watching that. That becomes easy, it becomes faster, and then what happens? You'll lose all the energy. You don't care as much to go out to talk to women. You don't have that drive because you flushed it all away. Of course, this isn't for everybody. It doesn't happen to everybody, but pay attention. Do you think it's happening to you? Do you think that you're not trying to go out and socialize or get on dates or getting the online dating apps because you're doing this more often? Think about it, that if that's happening in your life. Number 3, It gives you, and I'm really scared for the Gen Zs and whatever generation is going to be happening after that. It gives you an unrealistic idea of what sex is. So you can basically find anything you want, the craziest things online, and hours of videos on anything you'd like, that once you're with the real woman, it's not the exact same thing. Compared to porn, sex is significantly more vanilla. Now, of course, that wouldn't matter to someone who hasn't watched porn, but because you've watched so much, and if you have, well, it could become a problem because now you're with a woman and it's going to be harder to get turned on because you're not doing the things that you saw on the screen. You're getting an unrealistic view of what sex is, how women get turned on. They are so good at filming this stuff at the different angles that need to be filmed at. So you see these positions that are only created because the viewer needs to see what's going on, not because it's an actual position that happens in real life. It's only for porn. It can be very disastrous to be watching so much that that's how you view it. Before I give you my next two, just understand that one thing that you can do is what's called NoFap, as you saw from the title. That is a common term going around the internet that basically talks about not masturbating. Or at least in this video, I'm really talking about trying not to use pornography or your screen to do that. There's a big difference between maybe doing it with your mind versus watching something on the screen. Of course, more people are going to want to watch a screen because it's easier and it's more fun, but you're understanding now the consequences of doing that. So consider the idea of stopping this altogether to fix some of these things, like the next two consequences. It gives you this addiction of seeking pleasure. So if you're a person who has a highly addictive personality, or maybe you don't and you just discovered porn and now you become addicted to it, this is going to be a problem. Why? Because, well, you don't want to be addicted to anything. It really ruins the dopamine circuits and the natural circuits that have to do with happiness and pleasure. And once you have an addiction, again, specifically to porn, you're going to be looking at that for pleasure and fulfillment and think that that's happiness when it's not. So what happens is you need it to feel happy. You watch it, you feel happy, and then you're drained again. And you go through this up and down cycle that's really a disaster for your brain, and it's bad for the chemistry. So be honest with yourself and ask yourself, when you're feeling down and sad, do you look to porn to watch? Do you feel like when there's something happening in your life where you're feeling anxiety, do you feel like you have to go to the screen and start watching it? Really understand if it's something that's more of an addiction versus something that you only do once in a while. Number 5, and this is in no specific order because this is a really big deal, especially for my client who was doing it 1 to 2 hours a day. It's a waste of time. Think about all the things you could be doing with your life. Let's just say you're even doing it 10 minutes a day. In those 10 minutes, you could be watching a video on YouTube like this that's more educational. You could be reading. You could be going outside for a walk. You could be doing some push-ups. And that's just 10 minutes a day. I'm sure there's a lot of people who watch it for a lot longer. Think about what you could do with that time. Think about the person you can become if you stopped. If you did NoFap, stopped watching porn, and you did something that's better for you, that's going to make you a better person and feel more fulfilled without having this addiction. Porn is a waste of your time. If I haven't convinced you yet, it is very dangerous to go into this downward spiral of watching pornography and making usage of your time with just doing that to get turned on. So be careful. There's better options for you out there. One would be getting with a woman in person, in real life. I know that's not easy for a lot of guys. I know you're probably saying, Trip, easy to say, harder to do. Again, we have a coaching program that can help you through this, that coaches you to go out and meet women so you don't have to be looking at the screen to get turned on. So we help you with talking to women, approaching women. We help you with building attraction. We use my TED formula, my trademark system, to help you build attraction with women. So apply today, work with us. You'll get a one-on-one coach dedicated to your success to help you do everything you need to do to have a more fulfilling dating life. Go to coachedbytrip.com, click the link down in the description. Press like or leave a comment down below and let me know your thoughts on all of this. I want to hear from you. I'll talk to you on the next video.